Hello everybody, my name is Christian Boda. I'll be showing you how to make a nice and easy resume using free software available on the internet. Today, first I'll pull up my LinkedIn profile so it's a little bit easier to have that information ready to go. So next thing I'll do is I'll open up Canva. I've talked about it before in another blog post, and we'll go into the resume tool. Now, let me bring this up into a double screen real quick, and here we go. Okay, so jumping right ahead into the design. You can see here that Canva makes it really easy to edit all these kind of profiles, and as you can see on your left, there is a very vast amount of templates that are ready to go and editing, and they all look very nice. You can use this as you want. They're fully customizable. They just save you a lot of time. For my particular resume, what I did is I chose one that kind of packed a lot of information on the cover, because obviously as somebody in the science field you need to kind of pack a lot of things, because all the things that you put in there tend to have long names. You can see that I've broken up in the sections. Education, which is really quickly, because obviously they want to get that out of the way. Skills, expertise, selected publications, which I think is the first one that people tend to look at, or at least in my experience tend to look at. Again, tend to keep in mind that this is not for any particular purpose, just for the purpose of having kind of a resume and showing you guys how to make it. Make sure that every time you go into interview, job search, or whatever you want to do, you actually know what you're making, or I mean, you actually know what you're going into, so as to tailor the different things in here. So as you can see, having the LinkedIn profile on the right actually helps a lot into getting the information really quickly. Education, just standard, the school, maybe the degree and the year that you graduated. For the skills, I try to put concrete things, such as, you know, HPLC. I can actually do HPLC. I can work with statistics. I can handle Illustrator. I can perform histology. And then on the expertise side, you can tend to look at the more general idea things that you may be topics that you may actually be good at or have some knowledge in. As you can see in their expertise, nanotechnology is kind of vague, but within that, liposome fabrication, within that, atherosclerosis. I do a little bit of automated image analysis, which can be quite handy sometimes, especially for preparing publications. Now, I've tailored this and I've changed a lot of things about this resume, and I tend to add honors and awards. I try to keep it short, maybe something remarkable, an honorable mention on a poster, and the fellowship that I got awarded for my PhD studies. And the content in the bottom information, you can see that I have the all the information necessary for contact. In my case, I put the LinkedIn profile. However, it can be something else. You know, it can be maybe an email, an address, something more solid, but that will depend on you guys. As far as additional contact information, to be perfectly honest, I don't know, so I just go ahead and put my number and my personal email, not my current email address. But yeah, some things to keep in mind about the presentation here is that you actually want to tailor the colors. So the colors that you choose will actually impact a lot what the people think of you. In the past, I've tried very bright colors, to which I haven't gotten, some really liked it, some really hate it. They say it's too bright, it's not professional enough, it looks like graphic design, which I actually take it as a compliment, but maybe the hiring manager will kind of dismiss it as something else. In this case, I try to go with the blue, which is kind of calming. I like the colors, it looks sophisticated. And again, try to keep things simple, but at the same time, kind of be deliberate about what you're making. Again, for example, all the fonts that I use are within the Canvas template, but for example, if the font would not have been as sober as it is in the current template, I probably would have chosen, I would have changed it. Make sure that you do have something professional. There are very nice fonts in Canvas that very flowery, very cursive fonts. Again, that's not what I'm looking for, but it could be what you look for. Try to be deliberate about what you say in the actual awards. The different sections can be tailored to what you actually need. But yeah, Canvas is super easy to use. As you can see, you can actually, I did this in probably not more than 20 minutes, and it did not take any advanced kind of knowledge. You have a lot of color, the colors kind of lend themselves to for combinations, so you don't have to do a lot of that. It saves time, it looks professional, it probably makes a great impact on the person you're applying to, that's saying, oh, the person actually took the time to do this. And again, it's a little trick up your sleeve, especially for people that are doing their graduate degree, something that saves time, you know. You don't want to be that candidate that comes in with a Word application. I like to stand up a little bit. That could be good or bad depending on the situation, but I make a personal statement to, if I can, make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible, and using obviously design principles to convey the information that you actually need. So when you finish up this Canva, you can easily export it into a PDF. As you can see here on the top right, you can go up there and click on the download button, and I'll give you a list of formats that you can easily download it. Here at the end, I'm looking at and I'm downloading as a PDF for printing. There are certain things that go with that, but don't worry too much. That's the preferred one because it makes a lot of things easier. And here you go, a nice little resume that you can go in interviews with and not feel ashamed of. And again, as I put in the article, if you take the time to read it, this is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It will not make your resume a lot better. It will not make up for the fact that there may be candidates that are more qualified. However, and I like this, it's the fact that you can tip the scales in your favor. Maybe just put a little stone that weighs in favor of you, and that's always a good thing because you can always use a little bit of that in such a competitive environment. Alright, I've enjoyed making this. This is my first video. Please, if you have any comments, if you have any things that you want to ask me, I'm more than welcome. I'll leave my message on the bottom, and that is all for now. Thank you so much, guys. That's all. I don't know what to say. Bye bye. Thanks.